Hi guys, I hope you're doing well and you're staying safe. I know that this is a really stressful and confusing time, so this is the perfect opportunity to use our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 strategy. I know I've been using it and it's been really helpful. I miss you and I hope you're doing well and I get to see you soon. I made this channel so that we can review what we did before spring break and then upcoming lessons so that we can finish the curriculum for the rest of the year. I'm going to have my number at the end of the video, so if you have any questions, you can text me or call me, and I'm here to help however you. We're going to start by reviewing how we add and subtract fractions with like denominators. Like denominators means that it's the same. So we have two strategies when we do this, and that's the model. So that's our first one, is the model. And then our second one is a number line. So we're going to start with 1/4 plus 1/4 equals. So when we do the model, since we have 4 pieces, so remember the denominator says how many pieces the whole is broken up into. So we have one whole, and we split it into 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1/4, which is going to be this. And then we're adding another 4th. So we're going to shade in another one. So then we have 1, 2. You can also just add the top row. So 2/4. Remember, you can only do this if they have the same denominator. And then once we get to this point, we're going to simplify. And that's when we find our factors. Remember, factors, there are few, and multiples, there are many. So we're going to find 2 numbers that equal this as the product. So for example, 1 times 2 equals 2. And this is the only ones that 2 has. Then we're going to go down to 4. 1 and 4. And then 2 times 2 equals 4. So remember, you can do factor pairs, you can do the rainbow, whatever works best for you, but write out your factors, and then you're going to find the one that they have in common, the greatest number they have in common, and that's going to be 2. And so then you're going to come back to this, you're going to divide the top by 2, you're going to divide the bottom by 2. So 2 divided by 2 equals 1, 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So simplified, 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1/2. We can prove this with this as well. So now we're going to do it on the number line. So draw it out, start with 0, and then remember, 1 whole goes here. So we start at 1/4, you can label it, and you're going to jump to 2/4. Okay? And then you're here. And you'll do the same thing, find factors. So yeah. So now that we've reviewed addition of fractions with like denominators, now we're going to do subtraction using our 2 strategies. So we're going to do 4/5 minus 1/5. So start by making your bar and cutting it into 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close. Okay, so then we're going to start with 4/5. Then we're going to color 4 in 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're subtracting, so we're going to take 1/5 away. So we're going to make an X right through there. And we're left with 1, 2, 3. 3/5. Remember that our fraction doesn't turn into now 3/4. We are not taking this piece away completely. The denominator doesn't change, so the pieces all stay the same. It's just representing taking one out. So our answer is 3/5. We're going to do our factors for each, 3 and 5. We know that both of these numbers are prime, so they're only multiplied by themselves. 1 and 3 and 1 and 5. So the only number they have in common is 1. Missed that. 1. If you divide the top and the bottom by 1, it still becomes 3/5. So this is simplified. Now we're going to do it on a number line. drawing your line. Here's 0, here's 1. Break it up into 1, 2, 3, 4. So start, here's 1/5, label your number line, 3/5, 4/5, and 1 will be 5/5. So we start at 4/5, draw a little dot. Remember, I like to pretend like I'm a frog and I'm jumping 1 time. So 1 jump, we land at 3/5. We can circle our answer. And since we already found our factors, we know that this is simplified. So when we're adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators, we can use model and number line. So when we have a fraction that the numerator is greater than the denominator, we have 3 names we call it. And that's bobblehead, improper fraction, and fraction greater than 1. If you talk to somebody my age or older, we'll probably call it an improper fraction because that's what we grew up calling it. But in your books and iReady lessons, it'll be called a fraction greater than 1. So be familiar with all this vocabulary. Mr. Allen's the only one that calls it a bobblehead, but I love that. So in our class, we'll probably call it a bobblehead. So there's 3 strategies when we're trying to turn a bobblehead into a mixed number, and that's division, which is probably the easiest and the fastest, since you guys are all really good at your multiplication and your division. Our second one is model. And our third one is number bonds. So we're going to use 11/7 and we're going to do division first. So our numerator goes on the inside. Our denominator goes on the outside. So now we think, how many times can 7 go into 11? And that is 1. So we subtract 7 from 11 and we get 4. So we're going to draw our 1 really big because that's our whole. And then we put our remainder and our 4 comes up as our remainder. Our remainder will become our new numerator. So we're going to have 4 7s. But don't forget about your whole because that moves over as well. So it's 1 and 4 7s. So our denominator stays the same and our remainder becomes our numerator. Now we're going to do the model. So we are going to draw a 1 whole. We're going to break it into 7 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So we need to color in 11. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we still have 4 more left. So now that we have this equals 1 whole, or 7 over 7. And so we need to draw another bar, another whole, split it again into 7ths. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we need to color in 8, 9, 10, 11. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 7. So in total, we add these 2 up, and it'll be 1 and 4 7ths. So this is a nice visual that we get to see the whole of what it makes up. So now we're going to do number bonds. For number bonds, we put the number, our original fraction at the top, our bobblehead, 11/7. So now we're going to take the whole out, which is going to be 7 out of 7. Okay? And you're subtracting 7 from 11. So 11 minus 7 is 4. And that is what is left over. So these 2 added up will become our improper fraction. So now that we've reviewed our 3 strategies for turning a bobblehead into a mixed number, now we're going to turn our mixed number into a bobblehead. So a mixed number is when we have a whole and a fraction. So we'll do 1 4/5. So to turn a mixed number into a bobblehead, we're just going to use around the world. And for around the world, you multiply the denominator by the whole number, which is 5. So 5 times 1 is 5. If you need to put something right here to remind yourself, you can. And then you go around and you add. So you add the number to the numerator, which is 9. So 5 times 1 equals 5. 5 plus 4 equals 9. And our denominator stays the same. So it's 9 over 5. So we're going to do one more. And we're going to do 3, and let's do 11 12 to make it hard. So we're going to start with the denominator, multiply the denominator by the whole number. So 12 times 3 equals 36. 36 plus 11 equals 47. And we keep the same denominator. So 3 and 11 twelfths equals 47 twelfths. Okay, so that is our review of what we've done before spring break. I will be posting more lessons, and I'll keep you updated when those are up. But right after this, I'm going to post a green pen check. So if you would like some more feedback, feel free to do it. Take a picture and send it to me. I put my number on that piece of paper. Or if you just miss me, reach out, because I miss you guys. So for your green pen check, we're going to review all 3 things we just did. So for the first 2, 1 and 2, you're going to use the model and number line and simplify if it's possible. So 4/6 plus 1/6 equals, and then 10 twelfths minus 2 twelfths equals. Then for 3 and 4, you're going to use all 3 strategies, which is going to be division, model, and number bonds. So you're going to turn 4/3 into a mixed number. You're going to turn 11/4 into a mixed number. And you're going to turn and then for 5, you're turning a mixed number into a bobblehead. Sorry. So you're going to turn 2 4/5 into a bobblehead. So this is my number. This is my Google number. You guys can text or call me if you have any questions, or if you just want some update. We can go through as many problems as you want. So just let me know, and I'm here for you guys.